The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. By 3 methods we may learn wisdom. First, by reflection, which is noblest. Second, by imitation, which is easiest. And third, by experience, which is the bitterest. Respect yourself, and others will respect you. When you know a thing, to hold that you know it, and when you do not know a thing, to allow that you do not know it. This is knowledge. The superior man is modest in his speech, but exceeds in his actions. Choose a job you love, and you will never have to work a day in your life. To see what is right and not do it is the worst cowardice. Silence is a true friend who never betrays. Our greatest glory is not in never falling, but in rising every time we fall. Learning without thought is labor lost. Thought without learning is perilous. The will to win, the desire to succeed, the urge to reach your full potential. These are the keys that will unlock the door to personal excellence. It does not matter how slowly you go as long as you do not stop. He who learns but does not think is lost. He who thinks but does not learn is in great danger. Life is really simple, but we insist on making it complicated. The man who asks a question is a fool for a minute. The man who does not ask is a fool for life. The strength of a nation derives from the integrity of the home. When anger rises, think of the consequences. Do not impose on others what you yourself do not desire. The gem cannot be polished without friction, nor man perfected without trials. Wheresoever you go, go with all your heart. The supreme art of war is to subdue the enemy without fighting. Opportunities multiply as they are seized. In war, the way is to avoid what is strong and to strike at what is weak. All warfare is based on deception. The greatest victory is that which requires no battle. If you know the enemy and know yourself, you need not fear the result of 100 battles. Appear weak when you are strong, and strong when you are weak. Let your plans be dark and impenetrable as night, and when you move, fall like a thunderbolt. When you surround an army, leave an outlet free. Do not press a desperate foe too hard. In peace, prepare for war. In war, prepare for peace. If you wait by the river long enough, the bodies of your enemies will flow by. There is no instance of a nation benefiting from prolonged warfare. When strong, avoid them. If of high morale, depress them. Seem humble to fill them with conceit. If at ease, exhaust them. If united, separate them. The good fighters of old first put themselves beyond the possibility of defeat, and then waited for an opportunity of defeating the enemy. Confront them with annihilation, and they will then survive. Plunge them into a deadly situation, and they will then live. One may know how to conquer without being able to do it. If you know neither the enemy nor yourself, you will succumb in every battle. Treat your men as you would your own beloved sons, and they will follow you into the deepest valley. Opportunities are never lost. Someone will take the ones you miss. The wise warrior avoids the battle. The journey of 1,000 miles begins beneath one's feet. He who knows others is wise. He who knows himself is enlightened. The softest things in the world overcome the hardest things in the world. Do the difficult things while they are easy, and do the great things while they are small. A journey of 1,000 miles must begin with a single step. A leader is best when people barely know he exists. When his work is done, his aim fulfilled, they will say, "We did it ourselves." The more that laws and regulations are given prominence, the more thieves and robbers there will be. To attain knowledge, add things every day. To attain wisdom, remove things every day. Be content with what you have. Rejoice in the way things are. When you realize there is nothing lacking, the whole world belongs to you. The flame that burns twice as bright burns half as long. A tree that can fill the span of a man's arms grows from a downy tip. A terrace 9 stories high rises from a small heap of earth. A journey of 1,000 miles starts from beneath one's feet. The wicked leader is he who the people despise. The good leader is he who the people revere. The great leader is he who the people say, "We did it ourselves." The wise man does not lay up his own treasures. The more he gives to others, the more he has for his own. Those who know do not speak. Those who speak do not know. The key to growth is the introduction of higher dimensions of consciousness into our awareness. Respond intelligently even to unintelligent treatment. The sage does not hoard. The more he helps others, the more he benefits himself. The more he gives to others, the more he gets himself. The way of heaven does one good, but never does one harm. The way of the sage is to act, but not to compete. Simplicity, patience, compassion. These 3 are your greatest treasures. When I let go of what I am, I become what I might be. He who conquers others is strong. He who conquers himself is mighty. Do you You have the patience to wait till your mud settles and the water is clear. Happiness is the absence of the striving for happiness. Flow with whatever may happen and let your mind be free. Stay centered by accepting whatever you are doing. This is the ultimate. An empty boat is swifter than a full one. Happiness is the child of acceptance. The fish trap exists because of the fish. Once you've gotten the fish, you can forget the trap. The rabbit's snare exists because of the rabbit. Once you've gotten the rabbit, you can forget the snare. Words exist because of meaning. Once you've gotten the meaning, you can forget the words. Where can I find a man who has forgotten words so I can have a word with him? When we understand that the nature of the mind is empty and illusory, we can be free from all bondage. The blue sky is infinitely high, crystal clear. That's the way the mind should be. Do not be an embodier of fame. Do not be a storehouse of schemes. Do not be an undertaker of projects. Do not be a proprietor of wisdom. Embody to the fullest what has no end and wander where there is no trail. A path is made by walking on it. All existing things are really one. We regard those that are beautiful and rare as valuable, and those that are ugly as foul and rotten. The foul and rotten may come to be transformed into what is rare and valuable, and the rare and valuable into what is foul and rotten. Do not be trapped by the need to achieve anything. Great wisdom is generous. Petty wisdom is contentious. Great speech is impassioned. Small speech cantankerous. Rewards and punishments are the lowest form of education. I dreamt I was a butterfly, flitting around in the sky. Then I awoke. Now I wonder, am I a man who dreamt of being a butterfly, or am I a butterfly dreaming that I am a man? There is no need to get involved in the world, for you can watch it and turn away from it. The highest good is like water. Water gives life to the 10,000 things and does not strive. It flows in places men reject, and so is like the Tao. Life and death are simply a journey through change. What the caterpillar calls the end, the rest of the world calls a butterfly. The universe and I came into being together, and I and everything therein are one. The sage has no interest of his own, but takes the interests of the people as his own. The great man is he who does not lose his child's heart. To be able under all circumstances to practice 5 things constitutes perfect virtue. These 5 things are gravity, generosity of soul, sincerity, earnestness, and kindness. The people are the most important element in a nation. The spirits of the land and grain come next. The sovereign is the lightest. Evil is the inherent nature of all men. The trees on the mountains may be cut down, but the new shoots spring up when the time comes. The streams may be dammed up, but the new channels are formed when the time comes. Thus, men may be deprived of their goods, but the new acquisitions are made when the time comes. Pity the man who has a favorite and a second favorite in the world, for he will hate one and love the other. When one cultivates to the utmost the principles of his nature and exercises them on the principle of reciprocity, he is not far from the path. A person is born with feelings of envy and hate. He gives way to them. They will lead him to violence and crime, and any sense of loyalty and good faith will be abandoned. The principle of self-cultivation is nothing but guarding against taking one's own inclinations as the standard. To nourish one's parents is the most important filial duty. When one is about to act, the relation between the inner self and what is external cannot be neglected. Sorrow and compassion are born with men. The good man does not grieve that other people do not recognize his merits. His only anxiety is lest he should fail to recognize theirs. The way of the superior man may be found in its simple elements, in the intercourse of common men and women. But in its utmost reaches, it shines brightly through heaven and earth. A person must cultivate the unity of his inner and outer lives. The superior man, when resting in safety, does not forget that danger may come. When in a state of security, he does not forget the possibility of ruin. When all is orderly, he does not forget that disorder may come. When the superior man obtains wealth, he thinks of righteousness. The people are the most important element in a nation. The spirits of the land and grain come next. The sovereign is the lightest. He who attends to his greater self becomes a great man, and he who attends to his smaller self becomes a small man.